Hi everyone and welcome in another video. Today is a little bit different start because obviously you can look at me, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I got a new camera. So you probably know I'm a retoucher, I do Photoshop tutorials here, I do premium courses as well, but today I'm bringing you something different, which is reviewing, not really reviewing, but showing my new camera, and also what I want to show you abilities of this camera on the test images I was able to take in the first 2 days. So it's not a professional review, and I'm just going to show you abilities, how much you can get out from the raw file out of this camera, of course, excluding all of the others because I'm not really specialist in photography, but I'm specialist in Photoshop. So that's what we are going to do. And here is the new beauty I got. You might know I did some photography with quite small camera. I was using small Sony with the crop sensor, and by the fact I did a lot of retouching, I actually thought I want to transfer into photography. So you can actually follow more of this adventure that now I'm going to start with landscapes and portraits. Just if you go to my Instagram, which I highly advise you to do, and it would mean a lot of support to me if you would follow, so I can share my work with you. And of course, we'll be making videos here about the shooting on this camera and post-processing, just to achieve the best possible images you could have, which I always aim to do. So this camera, Canon 6D Mark II, I believe there was premiere just a few months ago. I was really looking a lot, what should I get? I was thinking about mirrorless camera, but finally I settled on DSLR with recommendation of my friend. But also I believe the price was a little bit better compared to the mirrorless Sony, which I was thinking about, and later the choice of the lenses was really good. So 6D Mark II, the lens, I have to explain you the lens that I choose and why I chose this lens. The reason is 24 to 70 millimeters Canon lens. There was also this option which is Sigma, which is rather heavy. That's why even the prices was higher. I decided to go with this. About pricing, I believe body was 11,800 Hong Kong dollars, which I would have to transfer. But in general, buying cameras in Hong Kong is a good option because there is no tax. So the cheapest camera ever in the world you can find in Hong Kong. I live in Hong Kong, so I'm happy that I can get the cheaper product because of the fact that Hong Kong doesn't have this sort of tax. And why the lens? Why 24 to 70 millimeters? I come from the retouching background, so I wanted to have lens that will do the portraits. If I want sometimes to get into some testing, into some playing with portraits, that would be a good option for me. And 24, I love landscapes, I love travel, I love hiking. So this camera allows me to take the landscapes and the portraits at the same time. So now let's jump on my computer and let's see what this camera can offer and how much we can get from the images. So I have two folders with the photography, and we're gonna jump to the first folder, which was exactly the first day I was having camera. I was looking for some nice landscapes over here in Hong Kong, and I believe I found really good views for the city. If you ever will be visiting, there is of course the peak, but if you want some special location, Jardin Lookout, not many people around, and you might actually get much different images than everyone take. And this is it's all about, I believe it is all about being special. So let's find some image that could be really nice, and we'll see what we have here and what we can get. So I'm going to start with this image at first, which is rather strongly visible. I think we could do some job over here. So of course this is raw files. I only do images in raw files. So when we open this, we want to see abilities of the raw file that this camera represent. And I'm gonna jump straight away into camera calibration, and I want to play with a little bit with the different options over here in the camera calibration, and more likely I will go with landscape. And why I'm going with landscape, because it gives me really nice and I would say punchy colors, especially over here on the sunrise. And also the shadows are pretty dark, so I will see how much I can restore with it. What I like, as you can see, the file is really strong. I was playing with the small sonic crop sensor. I was never able to recover that many things. And just with few simple steps here, as you can see, I'm actually getting this image looking nice, looking really decent. And thinking that I can do much more work in Photoshop later, you can imagine how far you can actually get by playing with this image, with these few simple steps. Look how much this raw file actually offers to you. So I possibly will use this image, but let's see how the camera deals with the very low light. And I want to find some of really dark image with really beautiful sunset, and that would be, should I go with this one? Let's try with this one. It's rather straight. Maybe this one would be even more impressive, but let's go here, and we'll see how this camera go with the low light. So I can see, actually, when I'm brightening this, I can see a lot of noise. Maybe not a lot of noise, some noise, and the result is still really nice. Even we push this image so much, we can zoom this in, and it is noisy, but it still offers you much, I believe, much better abilities than many cameras in a similar price range. Though I believe I was working with the images that were performing maybe slightly better. I would like to add for this some of the clarity and contrast to try to mask out this sort of stuff, and of course dehaze this image just a little bit. But now is really issue, as you can see, once we dehaze it, it shows really how badly I'm dealing with the low light over here, and that would require a little bit more work to get great results from this image. That's my belief. It would be able to go somewhere nice like here, but it will require just a little bit of work, and I'm sure I'm gonna use one of these dark images, and I will try to do as much as possible, because even though we get some noise, if this image will be destined for social media, that will do the job perfectly. I'm gonna cancel this, and I want to actually see some other images that I was testing on the roof of my flat, where was also my girlfriend. So let's see how we would be able to recover, for example, the portrait. And as you can see, it's just really amazing how much this camera can restore. Easily restoring portrait. We could maybe add some exposure instead of just dragging up the shadows so much. And as you can see, absolutely simple. I did try with the darker image. Somewhere here, she has unfortunately closed eyes, but with really dark image that could be a little bit more difficult. As you can see, we get in a lot of noise, so it's not extremely superior as some of the cameras that are of course more expensive with the noise, but it does the job absolutely great to me, as long as you keep everything intact, and I believe I will have a lot of fun doing this. So let me know which camera you're using. Maybe you have experiences with also Canon 6D, and of course, by the fact I'm doing now photography, I will be giving you more lessons on post-processing the images out of this camera, which will be a lot of landscapes and portraits, so a lot of great content is coming.